station. Be the call, the escalation. This is your radio salvation. Go, 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 go.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and happy July 22nd. I've lost track of time.
Sounds right to me. Let's go with it.
All right, 21, 22, whatever it is. Welcome to another edition of Time2Vegas. Freshly minted, coming off of our remote show last week down in Lake Havasu. We are back in studio. Again, we want to thank the folks down at Burger by the Bridge for hosting us last week. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, by the way, you know the number, 702-329-6947. If you're outside the United States, 855-502-4321. Also, tweet us. I sent a tweet out already reminding everybody that the show is on using hashtag Time2Vegas. Of course, you're watching us right now on Facebook, but we're on YouTube. We're on GoLive.Vegas. We're on the Go Live Vegas mobile app. We're on Twitter. We're on Periscope. We're on Twitch. It's a shorter list of where we're not. Gypsy G, how are you today?
I am great, other than I'm doing my little technological struggle that I always do. Other than that, life is good. Hello, everybody.
Excellent. Now, did you finally get into the chat room, start the video thing? You haven't yet? No. Get into that microphone. Gypsy's having a little technological hiccup right now, trying to start her watch party.
I'm trying to share it on my page. It's not working.
There you go. But anyway, nonetheless, we appreciate y'all checking in. So we've got a lot going on to talk about. There's a lot of news and notes around Vegas and things that are going on. Somebody's volume is up that I hear feedback, so check your volume on your phone. I'm hearing feedback in the headset. Other than that, man, I'll tell you what, trying to get back, I'm still in vacation mode. You do a lot of travel.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to get back to reality after vacation mode?
Okay, so I don't operate from reality, because who would want to do that, right? I actually try and live in vacation mode, but if I'm on an out-of-town vacation mode, it takes me a good 2 or 3 days when I come back to adjust. There's always resistance, right?
Right.
Hopefully you've had a fabulous vacation, so your body's like hanging on to it.
Yeah. Trying to get back to reality, the realities of life, appointments, dogs, working out, doctor's visits, 5 shows that you got to start thinking about, So
that's a lot.
Great. Well, you know what? I came home Friday midday. Then Friday night, I recorded 2 shows via Zoom for a show called Vegas Unveiled, which is produced by Vegas the Network, another network that I do stuff for.
Nice.
Shows Friday night, in here Saturday for 3 shows. Got a little respite on Sunday, little on Monday. Now we're back at it today. To me, Tuesday is the start of the week. Because
okay.
For you and I, for me, this is the first show I do in the week. So Tuesday is my Monday, I guess. That's really messing me up too. But anyway, A lot of news and stuff going on. So what's happening there, Miss Gypsy? Let's start us off.
Well, we always like to touch on the weather. As we know, it's hot, hot, and hot. Although we're not running at the 115.
No.
We're kind of 101 to 108. So that's actually kind of a relief,
Yeah,
right?
bring out your woolies.
Yeah, and it's making the swimming pools and the lakes, which we're going to get into in a little while. It's making the water perfect. Perfect.
There's nothing
right?
like walking in or getting
Yeah.
into the pool where it's just what I like to call the new term walk-inable.
Walk-inable.
I like walk-inable.
I like it.
I don't like when it's too cold.
Yeah,
That's just me.
That's me too, right? I don't jump from the deep end.
No.
I'm on the woohoo, let's walk in and check it out.
That's right.
Even though it's like more painful that way, I'm
Exactly.
sticking with it.
That's like tearing off the Band-Aid slowly.
Yeah, exactly.
Now the heat, now we're starting to enter into that, what we typically call the monsoon season now for us in Vegas, where the heat now, and there was a lot of rain I saw falling from the sky that didn't make the ground over the last couple of days, but this is the time we have to be leery of quick showers, quick heavy-duty rains, flooding and all that stuff. This is the time you got to be aware.
Well, if it didn't make the ground, I have to ask you, where did it go? I was sleeping, so I missed the whole event.
Suspended. It's in
Okay.
suspended animation. So.
Yeah.
But you can see, sometimes you look out over the clouds in the distance, you see those gray lines that come down from the clouds. That is rain that is evaporating before it hits the ground, which is kind of a unique
gotcha.
thing. So,
Gotcha.
anyway,
By the way, that's a pretty intense word, monsoon.
yeah.
I really believe we stole that from Phoenix because I've been in town for 30 years and it used to storm. Then we'd have a storm and then we had some rain. And I would hear about the monsoons in Phoenix. And I was like, Jesus, that just sounds like something that would come in on a tropical island and everyone freaks out and gets scared. And I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years back. All of a sudden, we have monsoons in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know which weather reporter said, "Ooh, I'm just going to take that word right there and we're going to adapt to it." But it's a pretty intense word.
For all you
right?
wrestling fans out there, there was a wrestler by the name of Gorilla Monsoon. So maybe they took it from him. Big guy who creates a storm, who knows? I don't know. It's just a stretch. 702-329-6947. And of course, we are monitoring the chat rooms as well. Want to say hi to Tommy. Want to say hi to Christina's out there in the chat room. Peter Randall, Sarah Rebecca's out there. Everybody's checking in. And we appreciate each and every one of you taking a little time out of your day, no matter where you are listening to us around the world. It's the beauty of the internet. Let's see. And, it looks like, okay. Our cousin, our webmaster, is also in the chat room, Mr. Robert. He spells his last name wrong, but that's okay. Anyway, let's get started.
All right. What are we going to talk about today? Your week. Your week was good. You're adjusting, right?
Thursday was my last day. I spent every minute I could in the lake. In the lake, when the water's walk-inable, as I said, you just
Walk-inable.
float and you're watching the boats come out and you're getting a little sun and you're just sitting there with your drinks. There's nothing better. There's absolutely nothing better than what we did for 7 days down there. We even tried a wave runner.
How was that?
It was okay for me. My daughter and my wife, they thoroughly enjoyed it. I went out
Nice.
as the rider with my daughter, and of course, at one point, she opened up the throttle and we went in the drink. So we toppled over. So, but that was fun. But it was great. It's always good. I know what your next topic's going to be, and I know you had a good time. I have a scar still on my shin from my experience last year. So
Paddleboarding. You were mentioning something about that in Havasu. First of all, let me mention my brand new designer glasses, in case you're wondering. No, I still haven't been to the eye doctor, but because my glasses broke yesterday, I'm probably going to have to. So these are readers, so I might be struggling with my notes a little bit, so just work with me.
just step right up into that microphone. We
Okay.
want to make sure everybody hears every word possible.
All right, I am here.
By the way, we have a guest in the studio kind of eyeballing us today. So, gentlemen, people, let's just say Fresco. If you know what that means and who that is about, he's going to be doing a show here soon, and we'll talk about
Awesome.
that down the line. Anyway,
Awesome,
so he's sitting
awesome.
in with us, taking notes on what not to do as the host of
Yeah.
the show for me. So,
All right, so Aaron got to spend a week in Lake Havasu at the lake. He is all refreshed. I got to spend a day there yesterday, and I woke up going, oh my God, it's kind of dark, cloudy, and windy out. And we have some paddle boards booked out at Lake Las Vegas. What are we going to do? Well, we figured out what we were going to do. We got up and we went.
There you go.
We went for it because it wasn't cold, right? Cold would really be
Yeah.
the only thing that stopped us.
Thunder and lightning might have stopped you.
Yeah, that's true. They would have stopped us.
Right.
And kind of like when I was at Willow Beach the day before, everything got stopped the day before I went. I'm just like, once you put a deposit down, just go. They're going to let you know whether it's safe or not because they are the professionals, right? And it's on their liability, so they're not going to let you go if it's dangerous. So here's the amazing part. It turned out perfect. Most of you know I used to work out at the lake, out at Lake Las Vegas, not for the water park, but for a travel company. Last summer I did weekends out there. So I was always around Lake Las Vegas. I finally got to understand why those of you who used to go there in the heyday fell in love with it and would drive that far and hang out there and play on the lake. I did not get to see the whole village in action, but I got to see the remnants of it
Right.
and what they created on the lake with the water sports. So I finally went out there and got on the paddleboard. And I was a little concerned because everyone talks about it's a struggle, but I've never really been concerned about my balance, fortunately. So in that aspect, I didn't find that part too challenging. I wasn't really in the mood to stand up for 2 hours. I really wanted to be in a kayak, so I had some resistance on that. So I started out just sitting down on it, got pretty far out on the lake, and then what happens, just FYI, that nice enjoyable moment, a breeze. Not a breeze, but a little over a breeze. When the wind picks up, it's just going to take you to one side of the lake,
Oh,
whichever
yeah.
way the wind's going.
That's
and
right.
That was kind of disturbing. FYI, you signed waivers. And the only part of the waiver I could see because of my glasses was $50 fee if you go on shore. And here I'm like going, whoa, $50.
Wow. So they have a $50 fee if you go up on shore? Like, so you couldn't get off in another part of the lake to enjoy
No.
the swim or whatever? Wow.
You can't. And one of my friends thought maybe it's because, they don't want you to mess up the board. But I actually think it's because of all those beautiful houses. Those are private yards.
Ah.
And, yeah,
That
they're
makes
private
sense.
yards. They don't want to, maybe we'll get kicked off the lake if those people are harassed. So I had to jump in, and I have to tell you, I had a word for it too. But again, I don't know if I can see my notes. The water was perfectly refreshing.
Yes.
I never used that word before, but if there was a gauge I could add to any temperature, it would be what that lake was yesterday. It was perfectly refreshing. There was no shock factor to it all.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I liken that to walk-inable.
Oh,
if it's enjoyable.
Completely.
Absolutely. Good job.
Completely. So
My wife
unfortunately,
loved paddleboarding last
she?
year. She did very well. So she enjoyed it. She wanted to do it again this year. I said no, but if you want to go have fun. So instead, we settled on a wave runner, which I'd never been on.
well, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't see any wave runners there. This is a really small lake, so
Right.
I actually don't know. They had an electric boat, which I'll go into what they have because, again, things to do. Going back to our things to do on your day off, or if you're not working right now, that's close and affordable to home. This is right up there with Willow Beach. It's a 1 through 10. I'll actually go through the activities now.
Right on.
But let me forewarn you on the paddleboard. I did have to swim for quite a while to get around this big, I'm going to call it a corner, to get out of the wind. But fortunately, I'm from Florida, beach life, so I can swim. I'm a pretty strong swimmer. Getting back on the paddleboard, woohoo!
No easy task.
That was the challenge.
Yep.
Because the guy's like, if you fall off, I don't know if you guys can see these papers here. Pretend it's a paddleboard. This is the long way. You have to kind of reach around to pull yourself up. But if you pull too far, it's just going to
Pull you over.
kerchunk right over.
Right.
So that was actually the most challenging part of the day.
I want to ask our
paddleboard.
listeners,
Yeah.
though, I want to ask our listeners what their favorite water sport is when they're on a lake. Do they paddleboard? Do they swim? Whatever. Let us know. Go if you have a boat, whatever it is. Give us a call or tweet it to us. Call us 702-329-6947. By the way, you'll notice a QR code on your screen right now. Anytime during the live show, which of course we hope you'd open up another window, or after the show, even on podcasts, if you take your scanner, That QR code will take you direct to GoLive.Vegas, so you can see all the happenings of what's going on here at the station. And soon, we will have a more direct way, as you see on the screen right now. Coming soon is our website. We are not, let's see, what's the old saying? We will serve no wine before it's time. Is that what that old commercial used to say many, many years ago? But anyway, we will post no website before its time is ready. So that'll be coming soon. But you can get to GoLive.Vegas and check out the schedule of shows, great music 24/7. And of course, if you're interested, just doing what we do, reach out.
I did see a very funny, those of you from my generation are going to get this. I did see a very funny wine meme on Facebook this week. Who remembers Mad Dog 2020 from back in the day?
Rings a bell.
Where'd you grow up? Come on now.
You're right.
Anyway, it was you've been forewarned. You knew the whole time. Mad Dog 2020.
All right. There you go.
Ba-dum-bum. Anyway, we do have one person out there. I know Nancy Jepson. I know you
Nancy!
are water sports all over the place. So if you're near a phone, you could call in and tell us probably 10 other places that are just a drive away.
Absolutely.
Where some amazing activities are on the water.
Hi, Nancy. Good to at least somewhat see you, I guess.
All
Or
right.
hear your name, if
I
nothing
know,
else.
right? So yeah, she lives a great life. They're always out doing things.
Yeah.
Right, her and Terry. All right, so let's talk about the casinos.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that was also inevitable, that it was going to happen, and it turns out what I'm about to tell you about did happen in December at the Palms, but not many of us knew about it. The D is using a machine called the ACS machine. It's basically a little handheld portable ATM, so you don't have to leave the table to go get more money to buy more chips. How cool is that?
Absolutely.
And then how not cool is that, right? How dangerous is that?
Yeah, really.
So you could be, the guy on the phone, I called down there and talked to one of the pit bosses. He was incredible explaining it to me. He's like, so you can be in the middle of a hand. Let's say you put up your last 4 red chips, $20, right? And you catch a 9 and a 2, which is an 11, and you got to double down because it's you just
sitting
have
right
to.
there.
It's what you play for. It's what you wait
Right.
for. And you're broke. You don't have any cash, so you're not broke, but you have cash.
Right.
They will bring out the machine. It's just going to look a little bit bigger than my phone. You put in your card, you type just like an ATM, and a ticket will pop out that goes to the dealer it tells them how much you withdrew, and you have a stack of chips
Wow.
in front of you. You really don't even disrupt the game.
That would have been something that
How
would have
cool
been
is
smart
that?
to institute before all of this happened anyway.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, yeah, right?
oh, there you go. There's a picture of it. It looks like they're on the
Perfect.
screen. That's it. And it looks nothing too different than what you would find in any store that takes your credit card for payment. I mean,
Yeah.
same type of thing. So, right on.
So the main thing you want to check with that, if you're going to use it, is find out what the fees are, because probably every casino that's going to add it will probably have different fees.
And not to mention, your card may treat that as an ATM-like transaction. You may also get, I would think, a machine charge, like the $2 or $3, I would think, right?
Yeah, well, actually, for them, what I read was, I think it was a $4 transaction fee, which we dissected it. That probably goes to the house, and then the 2.5% fee is probably what the bank is taking.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right? So, hey, you want to talk real quick? You want to tell everyone who we're going to have next week?
Yeah, next
We have a
week.
serious guest coming on next week.
Yeah.
Serious and serious fun.
We talked about this. We actually teased it a little bit last week on last week's show, but on next week's show, on the 28th, the author, the book on total sexy health, the 8 key parts designed by nature, award-winning author Udo Erasmus will be joining us. If you're not sure who he is, there's a picture of him right there. Just think of him and flaxseed in the same sentence, really. Udo has written several books, most notably Fats That Heal, Fats That Kill. He invented machinery for making oils with health in mind and pioneered flaxseed oil. Udo's oil is the name of it, digestive enzymes, age-specific probiotics, a prebiotic fiber blend, and delicious blend of greens. He's traveled to well over 40 countries, well over 5,000 live presentations, and 3,000 plus media interviews. He's turned his energy to global projects, including Total Sexy Health based in nature and human nature. Check him out online at TotalSexyHealth.com. And with that, we're going to step aside for a quick break from our sponsors. We will be back. Time to Vegas. Aaron P., Gypsy G will be back in 60.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
It's sometimes easy to forget to stop along the way to celebrate yourself. At Danielle Eugenia Photography, we remind you to take the time to do just that. We capture the magic of everyone in romantic classic expressions, transcending outdated ideas of beauty by bringing out your inner glow. Our experience allows you to use our radiant studio experience with our new mini sessions. Mini sessions include professional makeup makeover, a set of angel wings to pose with, professional posing for all the best shots, and $50 off any package purchase. Styles vary from glamorous and luxurious dresses to cozy and relaxed styles, or sexy lingerie for a sizzling boudoir session. Book your session, Angels and Blessings, mini session today at Facebook at Boudoir for All and on Instagram at Danielle Eugenia Photography, and explore your romantic expression side. Hey there, welcome back to Time to Vegas. Gypsy G, Aaron P here, Aaron E on the board, and you, the audience. We have a trivia question we're going to throw out at you. 702-329-6947 will be the number to call in with your answer. 702-329-6947, first caller. Do we have something we can give to somebody?
We
what
do.
we have?
I always have T-shirts.
Right on.
Always, always, always.
So the first caller with the correct answer to the following trivia question will win a spanking brand new Time to Vegas shirt. So go for it.
All right. The Wynn Casino, which, by the way, it cost $2.7 billion, as I say, back in the day, because I actually did not write down, and I don't remember the year it opened, okay?
It opened, I remember, as I started in timeshare. Got my first deal that day. So I started in 2005. So it was probably like 2005, 2006.
2006.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So when they built the Wynn, they built it without floors that have the number 4, right? Usually we hear that, hey, there's no floor 13. But at the Wynn, there's no floors that start with the number 4. So the question is, why?
Oh, and it's funny you mentioned room level 13. What does 1 and 3 add up to?
Oh, wow.
So that's a double entendre for that number 4 for the Wynn Hotel. So why is
That
it?
was impressive.
You like that?
Wow, you went
listen.
there quick, numerology. Mr. Numerology.
Well, I have a degree in math. I'm glad it finally paid off. Anyway, so Wynn Hotel, no 4s on any of the floors, which if you're not careful, you can really mess that sentence up. Call us. Why do you think that's the case? First caller to get it right will get a T-shirt. Time to Vegas, a beautiful Time to Vegas T-shirt that you can wear proudly. So why? That's the question. That is our trivia question at this moment. All right, we'll wait to see who the first caller is to get it right. So what's our next topic?
You know what? Let's, since you're doing that, let's have some fun.
Okay.
Let's throw out, just winging this, you guys. Let's throw out another trivia question.
Oh, a twofer.
A twofer. Why did they change the lion in front of the MGM?
Oh.
Did you know they changed the lion in front of the MGM?
Changed it versus removing it. It's not removed, it's there.
Well, they removed the original one and put a second
Right.
lion there.
Okay.
When you walked in the MGM from right there on
Hold
the
it.
corner.
It's supposed to be a trivia question we're waiting for. You're going to give the answer.
No, I'm not going to give the answer.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just reminding you what
Oh,
used to
right,
be there.
right.
The lion was big, and you
Yeah.
used to walk right
Oh,
underneath the lion
that's
to
right.
get in.
That's
right?
right,
So
yeah.
they've completely removed that lion. Can't tell you what year. And they put another lion there. Why did they do that?
Oh, so now we got two
Two
trivia questions.
questions.
So you call in, you take your choice on answering one or the other, one at a time. You cannot call to answer both. We want to give away 2 shirts, so give us a call, 702-329-6947. If you're listening to us out of the country, you too, although shipping may be a problem with international shipping right now, but we'll put your name on it, 855-503-4321 or 702-329-6947. So there you go. Up on the screen is the synopsis of both trivia questions.
Bum, bum. You see
Okay.
up on the screen. I know they're somewhere. Okay. That's why I'm not behind the camera.
There you go.
All right.
All right. Next topic.
All right, so a lot of controversy with smoking, no smoking going around in casinos. sorry, not sorry in advance. I'm a non-smoker, and I cannot stand people blowing smoke in my face, so I'm with the changes. However, that being said, I was in a casino a week and a half ago with a friend of mine. You guys who are inside these casinos, you need to let people know what the changes are as opposed to just yelling at smokers. My friend was at the blackjack table. They handed her an ashtray which says, okay, you can smoke, and then yelled at her why she was smoking. So
Really?
I kind of did a little research. It turns out if there's, and this can be different, as always, everything's subject to change, but it is different per casino. So
Right.
what I'm going to tell you is kind of how the majority are leaning right now, but not all. The plexiglass on the table, if
Right.
you're on a table with plexiglass, most casinos will let you smoke, but it's kind of like puff, blow it out, pick up your mask.
Jeez, it's
Lower
okay.
your mask, puff, blow it out, pick up your mask.
Which is interesting because you know what, my wife Robin, who's making masks, she's been
Yeah.
experimenting, and she did a couple for a magician in town, Mike Mayfield, with the hole for straws. And she puts it in the fold, so it's not, when you're not using it to put a straw in, it's not visible, so it's still protected. So I'm wondering if someone's going to come up with something, although you can set your mask on fire, I presume, but some sort of smoking hole in the mask,
That's going to be interesting.
you know, to accommodate that issue. But now, smoke, puff, mask.
Yeah.
Smoke, puff, mask. Okay.
Yeah, and that obviously wasn't explained to my
Wow.
friend. So even the people who, okay, so wait, let's fast forward. Let's go to the tables that don't have plexiglass, which I thought was weird to hear about because I thought they all did have
Right.
plexiglass. If you're at a table without plexiglass, absolutely there is no smoking. So as an ex-dealer, I will tell you, and as an ex-bartender, it's gross. Anyway, people sitting there blowing their smoke right in your face. And I'm not talking about you smokers who actually care, right? So I'm talking to the others, right? There are a lot of rude smokers out there. There are some polite smokers out there. So I'm not talking to all of you. But with the COVID, which is obviously and clearly the problem, those who just blow their smoke forward, they're blowing all their germs and everything, and sometimes spit on the dealer or the bartender. So that's a major not okay.
I want to mention we have someone in the
Yeah.
chat room that was trying to give us answers in the chat room to the questions, and I
Oh,
am not
fabulous.
I am not acknowledging if they're right or wrong because that
Okay.
individual has to call in to see if he's a winner. David Arlov, our photographer who was with us at Burn Offerings a couple of weeks ago, I told him I cannot qualify or disqualify his answers unless he calls in. So,
Oh, right,
David,
right.
dude, you got to call in if you think your answers are right to at least get one T-shirt. So give us a call, 702-329-6947. So, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, I thought you said there was a question.
No. He's answering the
Oh.
questions. He's answering the questions in the chat room, which we asked not to happen. So I will not qualify or disqualify his answers unless he calls in. So we don't know if those are right, wrong, or indifferent, but he's got to call in if he wants to win a shirt and answer one of the questions with.
Oh,
what he's-
to the trivia
to
question.
the trivia
Got it.
question.
I thought
yes.
you were talking about a smoking
no,
comment.
No.
Oh, okay,
By the way,
gotcha.
I'm all for the non-smoking too. I'm a non-smoker. My mom passed away of complications that included smoking some 20 years ago. My wife quit cold turkey after my mom died. I don't like coming out of an establishment that allows smoking and smelling like I smoked 10 packs. And
Yeah.
it's not healthy for me. So I'm on the bandwagon of keeping smoke free. But that's just me.
Yeah.
And you.
and me. And in that flavor, many years back, casinos started doing sections, right, with slots and video poker and keno games that were non-smoking, right? And sometimes even when I'm in a non-smoking section, a smoker will come sit down, but that's because they don't see the sign. So anytime I've been in a non-smoking section and mentioned it to a smoker, they are always polite and walk away, which is cool, or put the cigarette out.
We have a caller on the line. Thank you for calling Time to Vegas. I believe I know who this is, but please introduce yourself.
I'm Christina von Lindenberg.
Christina, a new friend of mine through Kiwanis, is calling on the line. And matter of fact, I'm a guest speaker at her meeting this week.
Oh, fabulous.
They had to scrape the
Hello.
bottom of the barrel with guest speakers, I guess. All right, Christina, you have two questions that you can choose from. Only answer one of the two. It is your choice. Are you going to answer why the Wynn Casino does not have a 4 associated on any of the floors, or Why did they change the lion from the front of the MGM? Pick which question and give us an answer.
Okay. I would say the first one then.
Okay.
They both have to do with the same, which is the Chinese think that number 4 has bad luck.
Okay. I will turn to our judge for acceptability on that answer.
Do you know specifically why? Because yes, you are on the right path, absolutely.
No, I don't.
The number 4.
Then I can choose the second one.
No, you can stick with this, and we'll go through it. That's fine.
Yeah, the number 4 translates to something in the culture that makes it a bad omen. David Arlov is now calling through. David, we've got one caller on. I'll tell you when to call back.
You can tell the answer, or do you not know the answer?
I read the script.
Okay,
So
yeah, go ahead. You can.
So
tell
the
her.
number 4 translates into the word death in Chinese culture. So
Okay.
yeah, I would make that a rather unlucky
Yeah.
thing.
So you're correct, right?
You're correct. So good job, Christina.
Thank you for calling.
Alright.
I will arrange to get the shirt for you. I don't know if I'm going to get it before I see you Thursday, but I'll get it in my possession, and I'll make sure that you get it.
All right.
Thank
Have
you.
a blessed day.
All right, Christina.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling, and I'll see you Thursday night.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right, David Arlov, the phone line is now open for you to call back and answer the other question, if you so choose, about why the lion in front of the MGM actually changed. So, David, call in again. The phone lines are open, or unless somebody beats them, which I'd hate to have happen because David, I know, knows the answer. I'm pretty sure he does. But anyway, till he
Did
calls.
we lose him?
Yeah, well, the phone line when someone's on is kind of a little crazy and doesn't allow more than one calls or a second caller to hold. So we take them one at a time to give everybody enough opportunity.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so yeah, certain sections, as we were saying, for non-smoking, always in every casino. Going back with the non-smoking floors, back in the beginning of non-smoking, the non-smoking days, only a few rooms were assigned, but now hotels do it by floors, which is cool. And there are some completely non-smoking hotels across the country, too.
No, non-smoking floors, I think it's been around a while because
Yeah.
where I've traveled over the last 10, 15 years, whatever it is, we always ask for non-smoking floors. So that I don't think is as new as it sounds for Vegas, but because the trend is changing, like you said, I think more and more of it's going to happen.
Well, whenever they switched that way, it was clever to do that. Clever to do it by floor, right? As opposed to walking by and smelling smoke. All right, we're done with that page. Guys, working my new glasses here. Oh, so, I'm just going to share a smoker story. So for all you kind smokers, thank you. But this is a story of the smokers that ruin it for you guys and make us a little edgy around smokers. I was sitting at Dottie's the other night, or day. Oh, go ahead. There he is.
All right.
Is that him?
We,
Yep.
we have, finally, David Arlov is on the line. Now, David, the only question that is left for you, sir, and why did the MGM change the lion, sir?
They changed it because of bad luck for them to walk in the mouth of the lion, and that was the main reason they changed it.
Which would also lead to death, like the number 4.
Exactly.
And the lion
exactly.
has.
I didn't know you had to hit number 1. I was looking. So.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
Oh, gotcha.
Appreciate your patience in getting through. So yes, David, you are correct. It is considered bad luck to walk into the mouth of any animal, I would presume.
Yeah.
But going into a casino, walking under a lion when you know that that's bad luck is the reason it was changed, and we have the current one out there. Good job, my friend. How's life out there for you?
It's interesting. I took a whole bunch of photos last week, go figure, and actually covered some cool events, and so
Cool.
I'm editing all week.
Right on.
Oh, nice.
All right, listen, do me a favor. Private message me direct on Facebook or Gypsy. If you're connected with Gypsy, send us your mailing address because
Sure.
obviously with everything going on, I'm not sure when we'll hit each other again, but this way we can at least send you your
Absolutely.
shirt. All right, my brother. Thank you for listening, my friend.
I had to catch your show.
Right on.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Bye.
Right
See ya.
on.
Glad you guys like the photos from the burnt offering.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
they were awesome.
Great job as always.
God bless.
Right
Bye-bye.
on. David Arlov, a good guy all around, shows up at tons of events, takes pictures, makes them available, and he comes with so little equipment. It is so funny. You remember the old
Yeah.
little cameras with the little pop-out lens? You know, he takes some, but now he's got some other equipment. But when I met him, he just had that little pop-out camera about this size, that the little lens that when you turn on, it just kind of comes out a little
Yeah.
bit. Takes some of the great. He has got such an eye for photographs, even with a little
That's a
device.
gift.
He
That's
is
a
tremendous, tremendously great. Anyway, okay, so good. Both shirts. Thank you, both callers, for winning. Both shirts are accounted for. So let's get back on, unless you want to take another quick break, or we can keep going.
Take a quick break.
There you go. The boss says let's take a quick break before we wrap things up towards the end of the show. We're almost done. 20 minutes left. You are watching Time to Vegas right here in the Go Live Vegas studios. GoLive.Vegas, Go Live Vegas mobile app. That's Gypsy G. I'm Aaron P. Aaron E. now is going to push the button to go to break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas, and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
Old world recipes, old world style, old world taste. Burnt Offerings at 3909 West Sahara Avenue is where the old world meets Las Vegas for a dining experience like no other. Burnt Offerings, where foodies dine.
Hey, welcome back to Time to Vegas. All of a sudden, I went to that cheesy FM voice. I don't know where that came from. Aaron Phillips, Gypsy G here at the Deus, Go Live Vegas Studios. Time to Vegas. Hey, just another reminder, next week on this very show, gentleman who is most recognizable with flaxseed oil in creation, Udo Erasmus will be joining us next week live, and Gypsy will be posting a lot more information during the week on our Facebook page. So make sure that you follow and like the Facebook page for Time2Vegas. He wrote a book that we're going to talk about called The Book on Total Sexy Health, the 8 Key Parts Designed by Nature. You can also check out the book. It's available on www.totalsexyhealth.com. And as I mentioned before, he's created his own flaxseed oil called Udo's Oil, which has digestive enzymes, age-specific probiotics, even a prebiotic fiber blend, and a delicious blend of greens. So check it out. We'll be talking with him next week. He'll be live via remote because he's up in Canada, right?
He is up in Canada.
Yeah.
And let me just mention, when we talk about flaxseed oil, he is the gentleman, he's the guy who created healthy oil, right? His oil was around before, but he is the one who discovered it wasn't healthy. We were doing things to it that were making it the exact opposite. So you're going to want to tune in. You're going to want to have your phone line ready. So the neat thing about that book, which I've started to read, and I mean, hello, who doesn't like the word sexy?
That's right.
He breaks it down, he relates it to everything, and he just, it's an empowering word.
Now, the book is available on Amazon as well as, of course,
Yes.
obviously through his website and Kindle. I downloaded it to my Kindle, actually, and I have to come clean. I downloaded it before I went away on vacation, thinking I might find time to take my iPad out and open and read it. Didn't happen that way. So I got a lot of cram reading to do before next Tuesday. So
Ditto.
get the book.
Ditto. And if you go to his website, The Udo, which is UDO, theudo.com, you'll see he also has video courses on health, which is really cool. I am currently watching the one about oils, of course.
Oh, right on.
And I've learned a lot. So check it out, and be ready to call in next week.
How do they say oil down south? Isn't it something like oils?
No, it's Earl.
Earl. There
Earl.
you go. Earl.
Let's go out to the Earl Fields. Aaron would know that one.
Yeah, is that how they say it in Texas? No? So? Maybe not in your part of Texas. Anyway, all right.
All right, so let's talk about Vegas moving forward.
Hopefully.
All right, even though we want to talk about what happened last week, we're all putting out good thoughts for what happens
Can I
next
just clarify
time.
one thing about what happened last week with the announcement about bars closing? You know, I read a lot of posts that when Sisolak made that, or Governor Sisolak made that announcement, everybody panicked thinking we were going back to a full phase one. Folks, I want to just put a disclaimer out there. It's like maybe phase 1 Plan Z. I don't know. It's not full phase one.
1.5, 1.5.
1.5, because what ended
Yeah.
up happening is basically bars that don't serve food were the ones that primarily had to close. So
Right.
it's not a full phase one. Everybody's keeping their fingers crossed that when phase two ends officially July 31st, if not before, when Governor Sisolak makes his next announcement, we're all hoping that we don't go back to full phase one. But schools are opening in a couple of weeks. It was announced yesterday for today that the Clark County School Board here is actually going to move forward with more than likely distance learning online, which a lot of states are doing right now, at least for the beginning of the school year.
Right.
And we see how that transpires. My wife is an assistant principal, so we're going to see what that does for her. I'm in the district. I'm a tutor. So we'll see what that does with my schedule, if it's all online or whatever. So interesting times, but we Vegas are not in, or the state is not a full phase one. It's just 1.5.
Yeah, and the unknown, right? Because I'm getting phone calls
Yeah.
about it's going to go this way, it's going to go this way. I'm like, I can read until the governor comes out and tells
says it,
us.
right.
We don't know, but I do know the speculation is driving us all crazy, Mr.
right.
Sisolak. We need some answers.
All right.
So 2 good things before we go back into the bar closing, because I do have some things to talk about with that. We have 2 casinos opening that are scheduled to open. One is tomorrow, as long as you're correct, and today's the 22nd. Bally's opens up tomorrow, the 23rd. Just for fun, I thought, well, what are we doing for specials to bring tourists in? So, and you guys know I'm all about travel and the prices. They have a special. Follow me all the way through this. It's 3 nights for $99. Do the math, that's $33 a night. Click the next best button to book the trip. It's $28.10 with tax and $111 resort fee. So your 3 nights is turned into $238.10. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it, and some of you out there are going to laugh. This is why timeshare and vacation clubs are booming right now. Right? Now, also coming up on our calendar is Tropicana. September 1st, the Tropicana is scheduled to open. Yay! So I went under the AAA discount. $29 for a king non-smoking room. And I thought that was weird, king non-smoking.
Oh,
Sorry, I never.
Double king.
Yeah, I
Bookend
can't
kings.
believe I never caught that before.
Got a pair of kings.
Right? So it's a $37 resort fee, $8.83 tax. So you could stay in a king non-smoking room for $74.83, but I think that's still a deal. You're right there on the strip.
Absolutely.
Right, so that was cool. Just some numbers for you guys to play with, for those of you who are out of town watching this, or for those who like staycations and want to be part of a reopening. All right, so here's the interesting stuff about these bars getting closed back down, or at least the bar tops, but
Right.
you can serve the food in the little food section in the corner. We all know the gaming revenue is what keeps the bars alive in Vegas, like 85% of their revenue. So what's happening, and I've been saying this the whole time, everything I see going bad is a setup for a lawsuit. And that's exactly what's happening.
Sure.
About 30 of the bars or more have come together, the bar owners have come together, and they're starting a lawsuit. And rightly so, because here's why. I believe it was OSHA who goes and sends people out to do the little check, because remember, we're always being watched. They had over 1,500 visits, not just to bars, but to restaurants, to stores, anywhere. Anything open, they are going in and seeing who's wearing a mask. Are employees wearing a mask? Are they making their guests wear a mask? That's why I keep saying don't fight with the employees. They're just trying to stay open. So they did over 1,500 visits. We should have had this as a trivia question. Yeah. Guess how many fines? And when I say many, I mean guess how few fines were actually handed out. Go ahead.
Well, I read the article this morning. If memory serves, I want to say it was around between 100 to 200. It was minimal in comparison to the number of drop-ins.
40.
There you go. 40
citations of over 1,500 checks. And we don't even know that anything got spread there. It was some restaurants where the employees weren't wearing masks, which
Right.
I agree you should wear masks if you're working with the food, right? And a lot of the citations we talked about last week, the one that would break your heart, are the swimming pools.
Right.
They're
Right.
not wearing a mask. Like, how do you wear a mask? The second you step out of the pool, you have to put that mask on, and they weren't 6 feet apart with the chairs.
The other note that I saw this morning, supposedly, the news that I read from one of the news stations is there now is 94% compliance.
That's huge.
Up from, what did
That's huge.
Sisolak say? Roughly 50% when he had his news conference a couple of weeks ago about the amount of compliance. So we virtually almost doubled for compliance sake. So maybe something like that, I don't know what the numbers are recently about reports of positive and hospitalization, but maybe news like that might kind of put our governor into a little different direction of maybe not going backwards again. Maybe.
Well, let's hope, because I thought I originally heard he was going to speak again the 24th, but I couldn't find anything on it yesterday that locks him into
Okay.
a date. So, but yeah, I find that interesting. The bars that get shut down aren't even the ones causing the problem.
Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty legit lawsuit, right?
Which
So-
also, there's two other lawsuits going on, which you probably have. Number one, the culinary union in town has filed a lawsuit against protection for the COVID and wages and things like that as a union for better protection.
Okay.
And also, this was settled yesterday. There was a class action lawsuit filed against the Department of Education, Training, Rehab, the unemployment, for the pandemic unemployment assistance program. There was such a backlog of people who weren't getting paid that they filed a lawsuit
Good.
against the unemployment division, and the judge said, too bad, you must pay and pay quickly. So we'll see what that does for folks.
Yeah, because I have a lot of friends still waiting, haven't heard anything. And then I also have a lot of friends who are getting really nervous because the 600 is coming to an end, you
That's
guys.
right.
And it looks like it's going to end a week earlier than you all expect, FYI, because the last week of July doesn't end on a weekend, so it is not a complete week from what I've been reading.
Yeah, it depends on your reporting
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's some interesting stuff, right? Because again, Aaron and I first started doing our filming together, talking about travel and
That's right.
vacation. So we're all about that. There's some travel restrictions out there. So I'm going to read you a few of them because I did not memorize any of this.
Let me just preface our audience. This is the segment of the show that either you need
It's-
paper and pencil to write all these notes
Yeah.
down, or better yet, watch the show again to catch all of this, because it gets a little crazy and hairy. You need a scorecard, as they say, to track all of the ins and outs. So fire
And
away.
it's pretty amazing, and I'm just going to read through it, right? Or pretty fascinating is the word I use. Okay, so cruises, right? Let's just consider them suspended through September, and then they're going to get revisited because they've already tried to open them up. It didn't work. They knew it wasn't going to work, so they've all announced basically we'll revisit in September. Canadian border, U.S., closed. Bahamas open, but not for us. They opened for a day. The next day they said not for the U.S. St. Martin open, but not for the U.S., maybe August 1st. Hawaii extended the quarantine, the 14-day quarantine, maybe until August 1st. Chicago, they have a 14-day quarantine for anyone coming from the red zones, which you guys all know Nevada is a red zone, Florida is a red zone, a lot of southern states are also red zones. But not if you're interstate, not if you're anywhere else in Illinois, you can go through Chicago. American Airlines is now booking full capacity on the planes. As of July 1st, they started booking full capacity. So that's why they're so adamant about keeping the mask on. You will not have leg room and arm room anymore, right?
Nor 6 feet.
This is, we're 6 feet. Now, this is cool. Refunds for air travel if you fail to pass the temperature check. I didn't know that.
Well, that's good, I guess.
Cool. Europe flat out doesn't want us to deal with it.
Alaska you had on the bottom too, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, yep, I moved it up to
That's
on
all right.
my sheet. Go
Oh.
ahead. You want to read Alaska?
Yeah, Alaska give 14-day quarantine for anybody that comes into Alaska. So my friend Scott Hogue, who lives up there, he's not getting any visitors anytime soon.
Right. Now, this stuff is here. This is the end of it, and this is just a jumbled
Yeah,
mess.
this is where you
right?
need to pay attention, folks.
So let me know if you hear what I hear in this. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, 14-day quarantine if you're from a red zone state, which are mostly Southern and Nevada. New York has a $2,000 fine if you don't submit a tracing format that they have at the airport or online if you're like driving in or taking the train in, right? Now, Florida,
Hold on. Do you have can you find a map that they depict the zones? Just, I don't know if it's, if you
you
can.
mean the red zones?
The red zone. Well, yeah, the map
okay.
showing where, if you can.
Now, Florida travelers from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut have a 14-day quarantine.
Which is interesting because a lot of people from that area move to Florida to retire.
Yeah, right, and they go back and forth visiting their relatives.
The snowbirds.
And Maine has a 14-day quarantine unless you're from those first couple states. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, or you test negative upon arrival. To me, reading the little battle between those, it sounds like there's like something personal, right?
Jeez.
Which is interesting. And then the last thing I'm going to leave you with is not a travel restriction, but it's a travel advisory, which is scarier than the restrictions.
An advisory versus...
travel advisory.
It's not a weather advisory.
No.
It's a travel advisory.
New York has a travel advisory, and this is even for local New Yorkers. Due to the rising rate of crime, it is recommended that... Yeah.
All right.
That area residents exercise increased caution while visiting New York City. 53% increase in shootings.
Jeez.
Woo! I love Las Vegas.
53%.
More and more when I read that.
Jeez Louise. So now you're
There you
combining
have it.
not only the quarantine stuff and the COVID and everything, but now let's throw in 53% for an increase in crime.
Yeah,
Wow.
Chicago should have one of those, but
Wow.
I didn't see it. I only saw it for New York. So I'm just glad, even though the border to Canada is closed, we can still have Udo come in without physically coming in.
Yeah, exactly.
right,
Thank
next
goodness
week.
the technology, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was talking with somebody while I was away, and I'm sorry, I don't recall who it was. We were talking about the border control and the COVID controls. You know, for Vegas, you know, there's really only, two major roads, the 95 and the 15, that can get you in and out
Yeah.
of the States, right?
Correct.
So, but how do you close those borders? I mean, I just don't see something like that being realistic for our state, you know, because Canada and Mexico, I guess those border controls are easier. I also,
yeah, they're designed.
Right.
I've driven across the border,
Right.
and they scare you and question you even when there aren't things going on. Like, what's in your trunk?
Exactly.
I'm like, I don't know what.
Exactly,
You know?
like going
Yeah.
through Tijuana can be nerve-wracking coming and
God,
going in and out
yes.
there.
Yeah.
But somebody also asked me, and I posed this question a few months ago. You know, obviously our state is known for its service and the gambling, and that's our number one, bread and butter. But what happens? What is the next thing? And I have an answer to this, so I'm going to put it out there.
good.
What is the next thing if, let's say, the casinos on the far end of exaggeration never open? I mean, far end. I know that it's not going to be the case, but
You mean reshut?
no. I mean, like they close. They have to close down. We're
Okay.
back to phase one, and because of everything, they don't reopen. Or let's say they don't open for a year because of everything. What else is Las Vegas? What else could Las Vegas offer to have its legs stand on for people to still come to Vegas when there's no gaming?
Well, we got liquor stores, and
I'm talking residents.
we're about to have
Travelers,
Well,
I mean.
we have an Amazon warehouse. That's a lot of jobs. And we're about to have the Raiders. If we have football,
Right
that's
there.
another story.
Right there. You
We
just
have
tip.
baseball.
Keep
we
going.
have,
Keep going. Hockey.
hockey. Thanks. Sorry, I don't watch sports.
That's right.
you know.
WNBA.
yeah.
Soccer. Now I just learned the other
Yeah,
day.
we're a whole town too. A lot of people don't know that.
Right. We have arena football coming into town starting in February, another team. We have soccer, we have football, we have AAA hockey. My point is that, what's that? Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Well, I was getting there, but thank you for the reminder. Big
Your-
Valley
your
Wrestling,
show,
FSW, and Versus, just to name a couple. So
We have strippers. Oh,
well, that's
crap.
true.
No, we don't.
Well, no, I guess you don't. No, not in wrestling. We're not going to say sure. No, but anyway, my point is the other thing that people I think forget about or are starting to learn. We are now also
Yeah.
a sports mecca. Okay, we get more people to come to Vegas during March Madness, which is the 2 weeks in March when the college basketball tournament's on to crown a winner. We get
Yeah.
more people in Vegas for those 2 weeks to bet and watch the games and casinos and stuff than we get for New Year's.
Right.
NASCAR attracts 150,000.
But we need the hotels.
Understood.
Yeah.
I know that they go hand
Yeah.
in hand, but my point is that sports here in Vegas, we are becoming a mecca for sports. That's the
Huge.
bottom line. And so if the casinos are delayed, and if, God willing, sports is at least played, although it may not draw people per se physically, although people
Yeah.
I think will still come at least to Vegas to watch the Raiders during football season at a sports book or something like that, if the
Yeah.
casino, whatever. To me, the sports might be the second level. Now, third would be all the natural stuff now, Charleston, Red
Yeah.
Rock, all that. What could Vegas rely on if the casinos are shut down and delayed for any extended period of time?
You know what else is cool on that note? Because, I mean, we have to be real. They're going to open that casino with or without an audience.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be neat, like at Mandalay Bay, where they have the beach concerts? They just put up the big screen and you're hanging out watching the game if we can't go inside
Sure.
safely distanced. So
Right.
we do have the capacity to do that
Well,
safely in some of the casinos and outside some of the casinos.
Outside the T-Mobile, behind
Yeah,
the MGM,
the
that whole
big
park area, that big screen, again,
Yeah.
social distancing would have to be,
Yeah.
or the movie theaters, but
Yeah.
there are ways around that. But I think sports could be the second level of what still, because we will still need people to come to Vegas if the casinos close. That's the bottom line. Otherwise, the 2.5 million people here, we're sunk. This town, you might as well just stick a fork in us, because we just, for the employees that still work in all those places, our
Yeah.
local economy, et cetera. That's what I'm afraid of. That's what I'm afraid of happening, and we have to figure out what else Vegas can become to still draw people here.
Well, the thing with that, my last note I'm going to add is if, and it's an if, and we all know we're rooting against it, if they did have to shut the casinos, it's an issue that's bigger than Vegas. So
Right.
it's going to be horribly balanced. I'm going to use a horrible word because it is a horrible experience if we have to go back there, across the country. And it's something we would all have to rise out of together
Right.
again, right?
Right on.
So keep that in mind because, we're up against some challenges and we're going to get through them together, you guys.
Absolutely. All right. Now, with that, I think it's time to wrap up. I think we've covered
Wrap it
everything
up.
we want to, right?
Yeah.
All right. So next
Next
week,
week.
here we go. We'll mention
Big
it again.
deal. It's a big deal next week.
Put it on your calendar right now. Right now, folks. What camera you? I saw you flipping. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. Let's see. I always mess this up. Take out your calendar right now. Bring it up. Google, Outlook, whatever calendar you use. Even if you use the old day timer, mark it down. 10 to 11 a.m. 9. What time are we on? 9 to 10.
9 to 10. Don't do what I almost did
I've got
today.
all the different time zones in my head.
Yeah.
9 to 10 a.m. Pacific, right here, Time to
Pacific.
Vegas. Udo Rasmus will be with us. Flaxseed oil, health guru. He'll talk about his book here on Total Sexy Health. Learn more at TotalSexyHealth.com. So get your questions ready, all you health nuts out there. He will join us via video. Closing thoughts, Miss Gypsy.
Keep it real, baby. Keep it real. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Stay safe.
There you go. Aaron P. here signing off. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Don't forget, as I always like to say, be kind to each other. Why is that? We're all we got. We'll see you next week right here on Time to Vegas. Be safe, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Las Vegas has many iconic symbols, from the welcome sign to a slot machine. But there's only one that can't be overlooked: the Las Vegas Showgirl. Premier Showgirls adds that extra sparkle to any event, from corporate parties and private parties, trade shows, conventions, weddings, store openings, and more. Since 1998, Premier Showgirls can be seen on many popular TV shows to stages all over the world. Call 702-524-4190 for more information, or on the web at premiershowgirls.com. Bring the glitter and glam of Las Vegas to your event.
For